also talk about. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. I mean, please go on. We can hear you. Please go on.
All right. All right. So this creative imagination also is by which two or more people, okay, that are working together, probably in office, at home, in our various environments, clubs, that are working together, okay, we tend to that we concentrate and we focus on our activities on ourselves, then they seem to anticipate each other's next thoughts, actions, insights, and sometimes even actual words. So what are we saying here is that so it's still portraying that part of the brain, okay, with uh the receiving part of the brain, our brain in general. That sometimes when you're in the office and probably somebody comes to report your boss and you say, see, I want to go and meet that boss. I'm going to tell him who I am today. And you see, your senior, your colleague may be telling us, yeah, I don't go and meet you. What are you talking about? We are resuming 9 a.m. instead of 8 a.m. You said we are not seeing a baby or what. Just go and meet him. You see, or go and meet her. This is what she's going to tell you. She will tell you she has done that before. And she do complain she's living from a far place. And guess what? If the person eventually go, what will happen? It is going to meet exactly what his colleague has said. So sometimes, so this relationship, that idea, because we have been relating together, we are staying in the same office, in the same community, our thoughts are radiated. And so we tend to get ideas and some habits, some ideas from coming from other people's brain, okay, because of our relationship. So this is also portraying the point I've raised earlier that it is best for us, since we know we are aware now from Napoleon Hill, this great function of the brain that it gets thoughts from others, then we should be radiating good ideas, good behaviors. We should be showing good behaviors. Okay, so these thoughts also manifest itself, just like we have electric energy, giving analogy here, and which we know. Okay, so it talked about these thoughts also, that from our minds also, we do think of things. It may be sometimes listening to a program like this, or mere meeting your colleague or your boss in the office for a few seconds, you know, and we just be motivated. Different thoughts will just be coming to your mind. Mere looking at him, greeting you, interacting with you with just 10 seconds. You just be motivated, and that thought will be coming to your mind. Things probably you have thought of, you have been thinking of doing, how to do it best. The thought will just be going on in your brain. So he said this kind of thoughts now, as it's running, okay, will not only just get another thought, attract another thought, but then it's going to add the one that is running in our minds too. Okay. So, and it gave that example of that kind of thought that are energized because of time. We have that part of it, that part they are calling the energy quantization, where you have different energy levels and some electrons are excited, changing levels, changing from one position to another. That's the way. I'm sure a number of us would have experienced this before. That you just be ruminating different ideas, will just be coming to your mind, to your head, and you know, instead at that particular time, meeting somebody else, listening to somebody else, you can just get additional thoughts being released from that person's brain, and then that energized thoughts in you will be able to attract uh, the thought from another person, and will be able to add your own such that you can work on that thought and then come out with something that is good. Okay, so said this is one of the functions of the brain too, and that part is also important because it attracts thoughts and ideas that are released by other brains as well. All right, so we have that the uh, broadcasting part of the brain, which is our subconscious mind. Okay, so this was discussed last week, and I think we have, learned greatly from it. So this subconscious mind, and so we're told that to be mindful of things we consume, things that we listen to. We should be positive and listen to positive vibes from people, not being pessimistic. We should be optimistic, please be positive in our attitude. We also looked at attitude is everything. So because these are the things that sit in our mind, and because that subconscious mind is the sending station of our brain, we should pay attention to it. Okay, because of time, he said we have three factors that we should bear in mind, right? And not just to bear them in mind, we should apply them. We should apply them whenever we wish to use our brain stations. The first thing which you have looked at is the subconscious mind. Again, what do you listen to? Who do you listen to? Very important. Said our subconscious mind is very important. Our creative imagination is also very important. Be positive, where inspirations are being, recorded, where basic and new ideas are developed. This is the creative imagination. Then also mention auto suggestion of, we have looked at it, where we train our minds, our soul, our thinking faculty. We said these three factors are very important, and I will not forget our desire also. Yes, it's talk about greatest forces that are intangible. That, see, guys, all of us tends to rely and just focus only on things that we can see. But there are those intangible forces that even control all of us, all of our activities. And that today we have started to, discover some of those things and learn from them. So for me, it is to tell us that, yes, for me, God exists. He mentioned the electricity we still don't understand. He plants something and it grows, things like that that we still don't understand even till now. So all this is to portray the fact that our brain can accommodate a lot of things and we can put it to use, things that we still don't understand. In academic arena, they will say there is no closure to research, no limits, and there's nothing like there's no projects to do again. There's no research to be done again. We have things, our brain, and it's from the way he talked about the dramatic story of the brain too. How the brain is wired, how the brain is wired, how it is designed, and that they are not all the nerves, billions of nerves that our brain contains, and that they are arranged in orderly manner, not haphazard. Okay, so this great nature of the brain means that we can still explore it to train our subconscious mind, our creative imagination. And so there are a lot of things that we have not even achieved, and there's nothing that cannot achieve as far as the putting our brain to use is concerned. So there are a lot of things. We should just be positive, be mindful of what we consume, people that we listen to, and be mindful of our faculties where those things are actually safe. Okay. Lastly, is that we talked about that telepathy and clairvoyance. Yeah. So the ability to communicate and perceive things, feelings, intentions from other persons. So talking about what we have discussed here, that we should not limit our thinking to only things that we can see, we can touch, we can measure, and we can, weigh as well. There is room, we have room to expand, to explore, and that our brain can actually do all these wonders. And so we should put those things to use. We should be aware that our brain can send, people can receive thoughts from us, and we as well can send out those things. So what we are consuming as unconscious mind such that other people can benefit from us. Just meeting, I mean, they'll be telling their family members that I have this boss, I have this colleague in the office, fantastic. So they are benefiting from us. They are tapping lots of good ideas. They are being motivated from us as a result of who we are, what we ourselves are consuming, what the stuff we are made of, uh, we should continue to radiate the good part and good side of us. I think I would like to stop here. Moses. Thank you.
And thank you so much for that, Pastor Pat. It was beautiful. Thank you for breaking it down. It was amazing, honestly. So initially, when I read the book, I had to take my time again because it needed some kind of sinking in, right? Um, Creative imagination is just an awesome receiver, and then the subconscious mind is the sender, and then the brain is somewhere in between, receiving and communicating to the subconscious mind through autosuggestions and desires and our emotions. So those mechanisms working together off the top of my head, it makes sense when you see meet people and you catch a vibe from them, or you see this person has catching feelings from this person because the person's thought has literally been translated into some level of some true autosuggestion has been transmitted to his subconscious mind, and you are getting an emotion from that person that just um, emanated from his thoughts. So you see that a lot of things that influence you, a lot of things that you influence are coming from your thoughts, and those dominant thoughts are received through creative imagination in your brain. That alone would make you realize that whatever you consume or whatever you expose yourself, your brain, your imagination, your thoughts to, is what eventually you become. And that's why the last um, summary of this book was that last phrase, right? That says all individuals have become what they are because of their dominant thoughts and desires. It just summarizes everything. It means that your thoughts and the mechanism of receiving that thought through your brain and through creative thinking is going to be what will determine your life and even the life of almost everybody around you. Because, like they say, you are infectious, your thoughts is infectious, your emotions are infectious. So the more positive they are, and the more um, positive they become, the more positive people around you get to feel. And that is like a ripple effect to other people. So I'm going to stop here and also open up for more comments or questions or more comments and contributions rather. We have about 2 minutes to go, so I'll just take one or two. But then again, Ahmed, thank you so much for that. That was deeply insightful. And I'm sure everybody on this call has gone away with something brilliant. I have, honestly. So, guys, is there anybody that wants to contribute? 1 more minute. Uh, I cannot see any hand. You can proceed to unmute if you want to say something. But if not, I just want to say thank you to everyone that joined. As usual, we would have these recordings on YouTube, and then we would also continue to promote our social media handles, right? LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, um, and all of the above that we may have. I think Facebook as well. So please do feel free to engage us. Do feel free to keep following this session. Um, I think we have one more chapter before our game night, if I'm not mistaken. And then we would collate all of the things that we've learned, and then we'll play a game. So Thank you again. Thank you, Ahmed, for this wonderful and very deeply insightful session. I must say, it gives me some time to think about it and to say, what am I even receiving and what am I dishing out, basically. Evaluating it would help all of us. So do enjoy the rest of your weekend and cheers to have a nice week in the coming one. Thank you so much. Bye.